Dutchess County LDC meeting. Jasmine, do we need to have a pause?
Just, that's it. Can I can start?
Okay, I'm going to open up the meeting of the Dutchess County LDC. Jasmine, would you please take a roll call vote for attendance?
Tim Jean,
Here.
Mark Doyle,
Here.
Kathy Bauer,
Here.
Amy Bonaderi,
Here.
Jamie Pacone,
Here.
Don Sagliano,
Here.
Al Torriani.
Here.
All right. Again, if anybody has a conflict of interest with any project that's coming before us or any matter on this agenda, I would ask you to let us know now, or if you have a conflict that you discover during the meeting, please let us know. I will state here at the beginning, I have a conflict of interest with the Marist College matter. Marshall and Sterling, who I'm the CEO of, does provide some insurance and risk management services to Marist, so I will have to abstain from that part of the meeting, and I'll ask Mark to run that for us. Any other conflicts? Okay, Sarah, proof of meeting notice was done?
Yes.
Okay, any bills and
No
communications?
bills.
All right, we have minutes from the February 16th meeting. Does anybody have any corrections or modifications or comments? Okay, could I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Jamie. Could I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kathy. All right, Jasmine, would you take a vote, please?
Mark Doyle,
Yeah.
Kathy Bauer,
Approved.
Amy Bonaderi, Jamie Pacone,
Approved.
Don Sagliano,
Approved.
Al Torriani,
Approved.
Tim Jean.
Approved. Amy, did I hear that you're here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, did you just join us now?
I was in for the last vote for the IDA meeting.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure we noted when you joined us. Okay, report of the treasurer.
Yes.
Jane.
Hi. Looking at the balance sheet, we have cash of 2.6 million. There's a receivable of 173,000, of which 170,000 is for Dutchess County for the contracts for 2021. Looking at the P&L, we have income of 6,000 to expenses of 163,000 for a net loss of 157,000 year-to-date February, compared to a budget of 7,000. So really, it's just timing.
Okay. Anybody have any questions about the report of the treasurer? Okay, let's move to finance and audit. Kathy.
Yes, okay. So we met last week with our accountants, RBT, and on page 1, they had did not identify any significant or unusual transactions. They were not aware of any uncorrected misstatements. They did not encounter any disagreements with management. And they did not have any difficulties with management during the audit, and there was no significant issues that arose. On page 4, you'll see that they made a suggestion of implementing a formalized disaster recovery plan. As we noted during the last meeting, the agency does have a means of recovering all the data during a disaster, but there's no step-by-step instructions.
But it's not just about the data, right? It's about an overall disaster plan.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So if we turn to, in the next packet, on page 2, the auditor's responsibilities are to identify any risks of misstatements. They understand the internal control of the agency. They evaluate and make sure that the appropriate accounting policies are in place. And whether in their judgment, there's any conditions or events that need to be brought to the agency's responsibilities, attention, I should say. Pages 4 through 5 are just the summaries. On page 7, our cash position from 2020 was 3.1 million. It is down to 2.7 million in 2021. There is a service contract receivable of 171,000 that was still outstanding. And then our total net position, we ended the year with 2.9 million. If you go to page 8, for the operating income and expenses, 2020 was a much stronger year with operating revenues of basically $1 million. 2021 was 896,000. There was only 251,000 of administrative and closing fees, which just shows it was a slower year than the previous year, which is not unusual. And service contracts was 602,000. If you recall, in 2020, we forgave the contract from this county to help out during the pandemic. So that's why that number is only 178,000. Operating expenses were pretty consistent except for advertising. It noted in 2021, there's 119,000. Primarily that was advertising due to the American Recovery Program that we entered into. So that is why that number is so much larger. The rest of it is pretty much in line. We ended the year, where am I? Net change in position of negative $197,000. Again, you will note that the interest was significantly lower in 2021. Again, that is for the significant decrease in interest rates on the monies that we had on deposit. And then on page 12 shows our service contracts, where you can see that the difference where we did not take any money from 2020. And then in 2021, we took the county's money. And so that is what made up the $602,000. Above that are lease agreements that have to be noted, that we receive over the next several years, and that will show the lease payments. And then we have on the next, let's see, pages 14 has all our outstanding debt, and you will see a few lines down, the Bard College bond that came over from the IDA is now under the LDC for the financing.
Just really quickly, Sarah, would you comment as to why we would do colleges on one entity and then the other, just quickly, just for, no.
So in 2010, the state legislature allowed a law that allowed IDAs to provide conduit debt for exempt organizations, which means mostly nonprofits. So as a result, well, that actually happened in 2008. But so in 2010, a lot of IDAs, including the Dutchess County IDA, or Dutchess County, created LDCs. So the Dutchess County LDC was created in 2010 to allow for tax exempt conduit financing for nonprofits. And that's why we were seeing a lot of IDA bonds that were induced under the IDA convert to LDC.
They were taxable under the IDA and non-taxable under the LDC?
No, they were tax exempt.
Right, but
prior to 20, yes.
Right, but it was through the IDA, not the LDC.
The IDA lost its ability to provide tax exempt
That's
financing for not-for-profits
Yes.
around 2008, and then then it was determined that you can do it through an LDC. That's when we created it, and then a lot of the refinancings that were occurring, a lot of these were short-term debts. They could. This was a way for them to take fixed, or rather, debt in interest that was variable, and then lock them in at the right time. So there's been a lot of movement that way, and that's why there's a lot of activity there.
Sure. Thanks.
So, Sarah, so then the two outstanding bonds on the IDA would have been previous 2010.
Correct.
Were there maturity dates on there? Doesn't matter.
They are.
Yeah, they were there.
I don't
I
know.
can see them.
Right here.
No, I meant
Further
the
down.
Yes, on the IDA.
Oh, no, they are. On page
I was just wondering.
14, the very right column.
Chairman Dean?
Yes.
Yeah. To further what the Council Capolino's statement was, the IDA lost its ability to issue these financing arrangements by the operation of the New York State Legislature. Is that correct, Council Capolino?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So it wasn't like there was any
Wasn't us.
discipline action against
No.
the entity.
Thank you. So Kathy, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's
but
okay.
Keep on going.
All right, so then we have a couple of our projects listed that we're going on the next couple pages, pages 15 and 16. And then on the pages, the last 3 pages, the auditors noted that during the audit, they did not identify any deficiencies in internal control. There was no internal control finding noted, no compliance finding noted. So again, a very strong and clean audit, and does really great work on the Sarah's part, Jane, and previously with Marilyn.
Fantastic. So once again, I just want to thank Jane and Sarah and the entire team for keeping such a close eye on our finances and making sure that everything is actually, I mean, it was really, I'm going to use the term perfect because the accountants did not find any correcting entries that needed to be made. So thank you very much and congratulations. It's fantastic. Could I get a motion, or first of all, is there any other comments? Could I get a motion to approve the audit, the 2021 audit?
Make a motion.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Mark. Okay, Jasmine, you take it over.
Mark Doyle,
Approved?
Kathy Bauer,
Approved.
Amy Bondieri,
Approve.
Jamie McComb,
Approved.
John Sagliano,
Approved.
Joshua Rajani,
Approved.
Jim Dean.
Approved. Okay, next thing is, I'm wondering if we should move the Marist up.
Okay.
And then I'll step out and then I'll come back for the executive session and the Paris report.
Yeah.
Would that work? All right, so why don't I do that? Are there people from Marist here? Okay, so I will step out.
There, right.
All yours.
It works.
Mark Doyle, Vice Chair. Tim Dean stepped out because he has a conflict this morning. So do you want to kick it off and
Yeah.
we'll go from there?
Sure. So this morning we have Beth Veazey here. She's the Vice President of Business Affairs and the Chief Financial Officer of Marist College. Marist College is here this morning for the board's consideration. They are requesting the LDC's assistance for conduit tax exempt bond financing in the amount of approximately $60 million for the renovations to the school's Dyson Center, as well as some general campus improvements and upgrades. So I'm going to hand it over to Beth to kind of talk a little bit more in detail.
Absolutely, thank you.
Sure. So, thank you. I've been the CFO at Marist College for now about 3 weeks, but I've been with the college for 5 years. We, as you likely are familiar with Marist, we're a comprehensive undergraduate, primarily focused liberal arts college, located just up Route 9 here. And this project is an important commitment to our overall commitment to strong undergraduate education. It will be basically a doubling of the Dyson Center, which houses our School of Management and School of Social and Behavioral Sciences, two very important colleges within our overall enrollment portfolio. As Sarah mentioned, it's about a $63 million project. Now that includes some other, about $3 to $4 million of other campus renovation projects to keep our facilities sparkling new. I'm sure if you visited the campus, we take great pride in our physical footprint. As I said, this is an important commitment to undergraduate education. It will provide classroom space, a real state-of-the-art facility to attract students to the area, and it really will be a shining star within our overall campus. We've done a number of renovations across the campus, working with the LDC, and it's really certainly improved our ability to recruit and retain students. The project will break ground this summer. It's about a 18 to 24 month construction timeline. We're still working through final selection of construction managers, but we expect to make that selection within the next few weeks. And this project will, while it's not specifically designed to add jobs, it is an important retention, of course, for jobs. And we continue to actively recruit extensively to fill our positions that we have open now. And you may have seen that we are actually made an announcement that we're recruiting 22 faculty positions. And that's one of the biggest faculty hiring recruitments attempts that we've made in many years. So I will pause there. Are there any questions?
Does this, anybody in the committee on the board have any questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Don.
Acting Chairman Doyle, I have a couple questions for Ms. Vesey, if I'm allowed.
Please go ahead.
So I'm looking at the audited financial statement for the college for the period ending June 30th of 2021. And although I think it's a great endeavor of improving the physical plant, the net assets of the college increased in that fiscal year by $125 million. And my question is why are you borrowing to enhance the physical plant? And you're stating it's not really going to create any direct jobs, but ancillary, from your continued hiring practices and bringing in higher level of talent. How much of an investment on this $65 million project is coming from the college, exclusive of the financing?
Well, ultimately, the college is repaying all of the financing. It is our obligation to repay the debt. I would say that this is a common practice in higher education to take advantage of our ability to invest long-term with our investment portfolio. We are an organization that's designed to exist in perpetuity. So what that means is that we need to preserve assets that will continue to provide for the educational resources of our students infinitely. So it's a wise endeavor for a college to take the cash and investments that we have and preserve them for the long term, and to take advantage of opportunities where we have a strong credit rating and the ability to access the financial markets to invest to use those resources to invest in the bricks and mortar. Does that?
Well, how much of a local investment is the college making? And then to further that, can you give us information on what the endowment is at Marist College?
Sure. The endowment is the last valuation at the fiscal year end was $416 million. And again, those are funds that have been designated by donors and the board for specific purposes. Again, supporting the college in perpetuity. And then I'm sorry, your other question is the investment that Marist is making.
Yeah, how much of an investment on this $65 million is Marist? Is it all being funded through the issuance of debt, or is there any equity being put into the plan by the college?
Sure, there is $4 million in equity that the college will be putting into the project. And then we continually invest our equity in the ongoing repairs and rehabilitation of our facilities. So we typically would spend anywhere from $4 to $6 million annually in upkeep of our buildings. And some years that may be significantly more as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you. We're in the process of finalizing our reports to the state, the Paris reports, that sort of give the statistics on our success of doing the job of economic development. And so, close look at the relationship of exemptions and grants, I suppose, to jobs created. So I was wondering, I know that you said you weren't specifically targeting jobs for this project, but maybe just for the benefit of the group as a whole, the total employment at Marist College, sort of head count right now, do you have that number?
Yes, we're around 1,200 head count. So that would include our full-time administrative staff, full-time faculty. We employ seasonally a number of adjunct faculty. Many people who work in the community also may teach a course at Marist. It does not include student employment. So we would have another, 200, 300 students working at any time across campus.
Okay, thank you. It's an important component of our county and of Poughkeepsie. So are there any other questions? This is the initial preliminary resolution. And so we've got a public hearing to go after this. Yeah. That I would, if there are no further questions, I'd take a motion for approval of the resolution.
I'll make that motion.
In a second.
Second?
Thank you, Jamie. Jasmine, would you take a roll call now?
Mark Doyle,
Approved.
Kathy Bauer,
Approved.
Amy Bonadiri,
Approved.
Jamie Pacone,
Approved.
Don Sagliano,
Approved.
Al Torrigiani.
Approved. Thank you very much. Good luck with your project.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And the next step. Yeah, it's not done until we do the next step.
And just as a reminder, if you can submit your the project evaluation to Jasmine.
Is that evaluation form within the packet? In the
Yes.
email packet? Okay,
It should be in the packet.
thank you.
I just put the ones on top. It's,
Okay, so this one we're not done yet. This is idea.
Okay. All right, what I'm going to suggest that we do is we move to the Harris reports. And then we'll do the executive session after that.
Okay.
All right. All right, so Sarah, would you like to discuss the 2021 Harris reports for the LDC?
Sure. So again, parish report, the first, I'm going to go through the annual report first. The first couple pages asks us if we have certain policies and procedures in place. And we do, the only where we say no is we have not, the LDC staff are not government employees, and that our mission, while we have a mission statement, we have not revised our mission statement. We did not revise our mission statement in 2021. And that our audit,
Should we still give them our mission? Oh,
mission-
no, it is on the website.
It's on the website, so it's just asks whether we've updated it.
Right.
We do post it and they do ask for it, but, and then the other one is where we said no, is it asks if our auditing, company also provides non-auditing services, and the answer is no.
Okay.
So the pages 3 through 5, 4 through 6 are the same thing, general information about, the board members. The answers are, should be the same as we saw under the IDA parish report. Page 7, which is different, is because the staff is employed by the LDC, you will see staff information as well as our salary. Page 8, again, the board is a volunteer board, so the board does not get any benefits.
Just a note that on the LDC, it does have expiration dates for our terms as opposed to on the IDA, we're at the pleasure of the authority.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Page 9, we do not have any subsidiaries, so that is blank. Page 10 through 12, again, our financials, which was stated in our audit. Page 13 shows the conduit debt, new conduit debt that was issued in 2021. As you recall, we issued bonds for Millbrook, the Culinary, and the Anderson Center. Page 14 is just a summary of all the conduit debt issued through the LDC. Page 16 and 17 refers to property owned by the LDC. The LDC does not own any property, so there's no reports under there. The LDC also does not issue any grants and loans, so you'll see no reporting under page 18 and 19. Page 20 through 36 is project, no, I'm sorry, 21 through 35 is project information. So while the information in this Paris report is consistent with the audit actually has a little bit more information, the supplemental, than Paris, because Paris, when no jobs were intended to be created, when you click that in Paris, it doesn't allow you to report any job numbers. So you'll see in here that there will be projects where the job numbers say 0. It is because it just doesn't allow you to input the job numbers. While, whereas in our audit, we did put the job numbers in there,
So just, again, just a matter of just brief discussion. The term conduit debt means that we do not have any financial backstop on those obligations.
Also, just to note, we did have some bonds close last year, or projects closed last year, and those Anderson, the CIA, CHF CIA, Marist 2012 A, Millbrook 2013, and Poughkeepsie Day School.
I'm sorry, say that again.
So those bonds were all paid off. So they're technically in, as Paris is concerned, closed projects. So that's the annual report. Any questions about the annual report? Investment report, again, just item line number 3, it is just points right now to our general website where the page where it resides. But once the audit is uploaded, it'll have a direct link to the audit. Procurement report, similar to past years, nothing has changed. But you'll see on the other pages.
Page 1, we just, for the credit card.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So I'm sorry, page 1 on,
Procurement?
under the procurement page, it says, number 4, does the authority assign credit cards to employees for travel and business purchases? So we have one corporate credit card, it is in my name, and we use that to make electronic purchases.
And I do, just so everybody knows, I do get a copy of that and I approve it based on the register of bills that are submitted by Sarah. I get that from Jane and then I sign off on it and send it back to her.
And then what you'll see on the following pages are just purchases, contracts, agreements that we have that are over 5,000.
And then on the.
And then the last one is just financial audit. Again, once we get a final copy, that will be uploaded to our website and completed as handwritten.
just a comment, we went through these very quickly, but you can imagine the amount of work it takes to put all this information into this. So again, I thank our staff for doing that. And, it's one of the reasons that we need to have, staff and professional folks because of all of these obligations we have to report. Any questions about the Paris reports? If none, I will entertain a motion to approve the annual report, the investment report, the procurement report, and the audit report for Paris.
I'll make that
moved.
motion.
Thank you, Don Sagliano. Second, Kathy, would you be able
I'll
to
be-
second that?
yes.
Okay, great. Jasmine, would you please take a vote?
Mark Doyle,
Approved.
Kathy Bauer,
Approved.
Amy Bondieri,
Approve.
Jamie Picone,
Approved.
Don Zagliano,
Approved.
Al Torrigiano.
Approved.
Approved. Okay, that leaves us, so what I would like to do is temporarily adjourn the regular meeting, and I would like to, we need a motion to go into executive session? I would- Oh, I'm sorry, Don?
Yeah, I just was gonna mention that we need a motion to go into an executive session.
Would you like to make such a motion, Don?
I would, but I don't know all the official verbiage. I believe I'd like to make a motion for the LDC to go into executive session pursuant to Attorney Capolino's.
Personnel matters.
Yes, to discuss a personnel matter.
Personnel
which is
matters.
allowed-
Do we have to state what section of the law it's under?
No, it's satisfactory to say personnel matters.
Oh, to go into personnel matters with regards to the agency.
Don, if you would like, I can give you a real official wording here. It says to review and discuss employment history and 2021 performance of the CEO. Would you be willing to make that motion to go into executive session for that purpose?
Yes, I would, Chairman Dean.
Thank you. Could I get a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. I'm going to actually take a voice vote on this one for the first time in a long time. Is there any objections by a board member to going into executive session? Is there any people that would prefer to abstain? Okay, I'm going to consider that.
All those in favor?
All those in favor, please signify by waving or saying aye.
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 Thank you. Okay, so we are going to move into executive session and we will reconvene the regular meeting at the end of that.
And I'll let you know when we're ready.
Okay, I would like to entertain a motion to bring to reconvene the Dutchess County LDC meeting. Could I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Jamie. Could I get a second?
I'll second.
Mark. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you, Al. All right, is there any objections to reopening the meeting? If so, raise your hand or state so. Are there any abstentions in the new meeting? Okay, all in favor of opening up the meeting again, if you could raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Okay. The board had an executive session to discuss the review and employment history and 2021 performance of our CEO. And Sarah, I would like to just generally thank you for your hard work for us and the success that we've had as an organization in the LDC. And I would like to ask if there is a motion from the floor that came about as a result of our discussions.
Anybody prefer? I would like to make that motion.
Okay, Mark.
And the motion would be to increase the base salary to 125,000.
Okay.
And you'd like me to continue
Yes.
that? And in addition, that would include the employment benefits of 18,000
Additionally. Okay.
And furthermore, in addition to that, because we're needing to make a resolution to cover the CFO's Bain's benefits for 18,000 as well.
Okay. Could I get a second?
I'll make the second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Okay, Jasmine, if you could take a roll call vote.
Mark Doyle,
Approved.
Kathy Bauer,
Approved.
Amy Bondieri,
Approved.
Jamie Picone,
Approve.
Don Sagliano,
Approved.
Al Torriani,
Approved.
Jim Dean.
Approved. Sarah, thank you again. And I will review the results of your, your actual review with you personally at a time soon after the meeting. But thank you again very much.
Well, thank you to everyone in the board. I want to thank the board member for your support and confidence in me. And I truly enjoy what I'm doing. And so I really feel very blessed. Thank you.
Okay, is there any other matters that need to come before us? All right, thank you all for your time. Oh, Sarah.
I have a quick announcement is we received about 3,400 COVID test kits.
Oh.
And we will be distributing them to local businesses in the coming weeks. I just picked them up yesterday. Jane and I unloaded the truck. And so starting next week will be an announcement that if you would like COVID test kits for your business, to please contact us and that we can provide that.
Great.
Nice.
Okay, with that, I adjourn the meeting of the Dutchess County LDC.
Thank you.
Thank you.